Hi guys, this is Double Wide 6 and this is part 2 of rebuilding an M-Glow air compressor. Basically putting new gaskets in and trying to go through this thing and take care of any leaks that I find. So the first thing that I've done is I've put the gasket on this round plate here, the bearing plate, and just snugging this up to make sure there's no leaks. Now we're going to put on our head gaskets. So that goes on there like that. And in the last video I cleaned out all those valves. Okay, this gasket's going to go on here like this, and this should go on here like that. And all we have to do is get our bolts and torque them down. This device here is the breather. I'm going to replace this because this was leaking, so I bought this part. It's basically a rubber gasket here, and what looks like a rivet. There's no threads on this or anything, but this will get tapped into the compressor block. I'll show you where. So right behind the compressor, you can see the belt on the wheel there. Down here on the bottom, this is where that breather valve goes. So I'm just going to put that on there and tap it into place. So I'm just going to take a nut drive and put it on the head of that rivet, and we'll just try and tap this thing into place. And it looks like it's already going. Alright, nice and tight. The next thing I have to do is just secure these copper lines that I loosened up for taking off the head. So we're going to go back and torque those down. Last thing we need to do is add a little bit of 30 weight motor oil. I'm actually using synthetic, trying to add a little bit of life to this thing. And if there's a dipstick, you got to check the dipstick. If there's not a dipstick, you just want to fill it up to the top of the plug in the reservoir, right at the bottom of those threads actually. So I've added the oil, got all the gaskets on. I think everything looks good. I reattached the spark plug back on the engine. So I'm going to try and fire this thing up and we'll see what we get. Alright guys, it's a day later here. and I had the compressor running, and I think what I have going on is there's a leak from, I believe, the exhaust valves are leaking. It has the same symptoms that it had before, and what I did is I pulled that valve plate out and I actually ground the valves, kind of like you do in a small engine, for a small engine I should say, and that didn't help. So I think it needs springs and a new valve kit, and I don't think it's going to be worth my time or effort or money. This is the one that there was a pinhole in the tank, and you know, I don't really need the thing. It's missing the wheel, it's missing the guard. So, you know, if I had a need for a gas compressor, I would go through and rebuild it. But I think I'm just gonna pull that Predator engine off and store that away. Probably put that on a snowblower in the future. And I could probably use these tanks for something else. I'm trying to build a air compressor for out in my shed, so in that case it wouldn't be a gas air compressor, so maybe I could do something like that. But that's pretty much where I'm at with this project, so maybe you'll see a future video on me using the parts from this for something else. So anyhow, thanks for following along, and sorry not every video ends awesome, and I guess that's just kind of how it works. And you know, I believe this compressor was kind of neglected, left out in the rain and all that, so you know, I'm throwing in the towel here, unfortunately. But thanks for watching, and you can subscribe or check out the other videos on my channel. Take care.